Welcome back. The trial of the former governor of Enugu State, Chimaroke Nnamani, for alleged money laundering charges involving about 4.5 billion naira has been adjourned till June the 17th, 2014. The prosecuting counsel, Mr. Kelvin Uzozie, was ready to commence trial as he had one of his witnesses in court today. But the defense counsel, Mr. Abubakar Shamsuddin, objected, insisting that the case had been adjourned for mention and not trial. At the last sitting of the court, presiding judge, Justice Mohammed Yunusa, was absent. The defense counsel told the court that both lawyers had been agreed that the case would come up for mention today. He requested for an adjournment on this basis. Though the prosecuting counsel objected to the adjournment, insisting that criminal cases are never adjourned for mention, Justice Yunusa adjourned the matter at the instance of the defense counsel. Former Governor Nnamani is being prosecuted before a federal high court sitting in Lagos by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission with 7 others on a 105-count charge of money laundering. Residents of Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State who suffered losses when floods ravaged their community 2 years ago are crying foul over what they say is abandonment by the government. Members of the community, who are mostly farmers, are claiming that the flood relief fund distributed by the government had little or no effect on their recovery process, as they feel it was not properly disbursed. Our community report tonight visits the once lively agricultural region, now crying out for help.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
The flood that brought devastation, that prompted the promise.
And let me continue to say it, when it is over, we will be part of the rebuilding. We will not be alone.
This was 2012 when Onsomala, a community in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State, was visited by Mother Nature in the most unfriendly way.
I would say it's quite monumental. It touched every aspect of human life. The school system, habitation where they live, the source of livelihood, everything was adversely affected.
Since the pledge of rehabilitation by Governor Peter Obi, the people attest to some form of support, but it has stopped without any notice. The once vibrant farming and fishing community is now in perpetual silence, owing to what the community calls government neglect and poor disbursement of relief funds.
The state government did something, but I don't know precisely what it is. The program, we are not fine-tuned. It wasn't efficiently done so that you can possibly say, this is given to these people, this is given to these people.
Take Mr. Obiora Oranyelu, a physically challenged cassava and yam farmer who still finds a way to make ends meet in spite of his disability. Although he commends the government for intervening at all, there is an expression of bitterness over the distribution of relief funds, claiming it did not serve the purpose it was meant for.
It pained us because it really affected us. The flood carried all the yam, corn, cocoyam, and everything we planted. What we lost is more than what we were able to remedy. We can't even see cassava stems, even the yam we cultivated. The flood damaged it all.
This lady is a cassava farmer who also felt the blow of the flood. She says life has been difficult as she borrows to ensure the survival of her business and home.
We managed to raise money in addition to what the government assisted us with, and we started the business. From the proceeds, we also feed some women.
Reacting, the secretary to the state government and chairman of the Flood Intervention Committee explained that all the money the federal government released to Anambra for the flood intervention was properly disbursed.
We spent almost 700 million. 500 of that has come from the federal government. That's all we've received from the federal government, and the rest has come from the state. But if you put all the rehabilitation process that has gone through some of our MDG programs, some of their water resources program and state intervention, we're probably have gone far double that amount, but we're not counting because those are things that we plan to do ahead of time. But by and large, like the governor says, our commitment is total to the rehabilitation of those who were affected by the flood.
It's not that the community is saying nothing was done by the authorities. It is only seeking more support to enable families look forward to brighter days.
Etisalat, now.
Now let's join Loretta Chiogo for business news.
First Bank, truly the first.
Welcome to Business News. A $170 million loan from the French government has been approved by the Federal Executive Council for Power Infrastructure in Abuja, that's the Federal Capital Territory. The Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, said what has been done already is the sale of the distribution and generation companies in the power sector, which does not relate to the transmission which the government still holds in regulation. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala said the bond was pegged at $200 million until studies showed increase in interest by subscribers abroad.
As you know, the French President François Hollande, was here for the centenary celebrations, and this was one of the loans that was signed because we had a ratification of the president, we had an anticipatory approval of the president, and it was ratified today by council. So $170 million of very soft credit. The terms are 1.56%. That's the interest rate per annum, and the commitment charge of 0.5% per annum, and then a service charge of 0.25% per annum payable on the amount withdrawn. The loan is for 20 years with a 7 years of grace. That means moratorium on payment for 7 years, and the rest payable over 20 years.
It doesn't look too good at the Nigeria's external reserves. Now, the reserves have dropped to a new low of $39.7 billion, a level last seen about 18 months ago. The decline represents a $3.04 billion drop from the level exactly 1 month ago, while on a year-to-date basis, the nation's foreign reserves declined by $7.83 billion in the last 1 year. The CBN's fourth quarter economic report, published on Tuesday, shows that the December-end gross external reserves indicated a decline of 2.9%, below the $44.11 billion recorded at the end of the preceding quarter. Renowned international rating agency Fitch Ratings has affirmed the long-term issuer default rating of 9 Nigerian banks. The lucky banks are FBN Holdings PLC, First Bank of Nigeria Limited, Zenith Bank PLC, United Bank for Africa PLC, Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, Access Bank PLC, Diamond Bank PLC, Fidelity Bank PLC, and Union Bank PLC. The agency also assigned Standard Bank IBTC Holdings PLC a long-term national rating of AAA in line with the rating of its 100% owned and primary operating entity, Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC. The agency pointed out that despite the market volatility and uncertainty created by the suspension of the CBN Governor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the Fitch-rated banks are still very strong. Fitch assigns support rating floors based on each bank's systemic importance, generally giving their size, their market share, franchise, and importance to the real economy. And finally, it's still a bearish outlook at the Nigerian Stock Exchange as the all-share index again dropped 0.18% to 39,127.41 points. Harriet Agbenyi is standing by to give the details of trading today.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigerian equities market ended midweek trade bearish on renewed sell pressure as market maintained negative breadth with 26 gainers and 43 losers. The all-share index dropped 0.18% to 39,127.41 points, pulled down by losses recorded by some market heavyweights including Nestle and Dangote Cement. Well, after losing 25 naira on Tuesday, Nestle lost 15 naira more to close at 1,060 naira. It's followed by Total and Dangote Cement down 7 and 2 naira respectively. On the other hand, Nigerian breweries reversed the previous day's loss to close 2.68% higher. That's about 3 naira 88 kobo added to its share price. But the equity is among the 26 stocks that recorded price gains. Wema Bank, Transcorp, and NEM Insurance were among the most actively traded stocks. At the end of midweek trade, investors in 4,956 deals bought 884.27 million shares with 4.47 billion naira. Those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbini.
Thank you, Harriet, and that's it on Business News. The news at 10 continues shortly. I'm Loretta Chiogo.
First Bank, truly the first.
Still ahead on the news at 10, a new sports minister is sworn in. He's Tamuno Dagugu. That's on Sports News. Do stay with us.